What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Yala Poppy from simphunter.com. And in this video, this is going to be the yin to the yang of my other video where I talked about blue oceans in the OnlyFans management space, referring to the book Blue Ocean Strategy, which is a business book that talks about how you should look at what your competition is doing and do the opposite, because what they're doing, there's all these sharks swimming around in the ocean, eating fish, and the ocean is red from all the blood. So you should find the blue ocean where there's no sharks eating the fish, so you can be the shark that's eating the fish. So that video was talking about potential opportunities for you to capitalize on potentially as an OnlyFans agency. This video, we're going to talk about red oceans. So I'm going to identify the things that everybody is doing that maybe as a thought experiment, you could think to yourself, if everybody's doing this, what if I did it differently? If I was tasked, if I said to myself, I'm going to do this differently, how would I make it work? What can I do to make this work? And once you ask yourself that question, your brain will naturally come up with solutions. You might come up with a good one. I'm going to kind of riff off the cuff here and maybe try to come up with some good ones by myself in my apartment, talking to my phone, with you together, I mean, and maybe this will stimulate your juices and you will have a good time. So let's start with the first red ocean. The first red ocean, what every OnlyFans agency is doing, hiring Filipino VAs. Hiring Filipino VAs and Filipino chatters. Now, not every person is doing this, but I would say 90%, 95% of agency owners are working with Filipinos. Now, no hate towards our Pinoy friends. And I think you could say Pinoy. I don't think that's a slur. I think they call each other Pinoy. So do they get the Pinoy pass? Is that a word? The P word pass? Anyway, whatever. No hate towards them. They are, some of them are good workers. I employ several. But why is it a red ocean? Because there's so many Filipino people who are now gravitating towards OFM. A couple weeks ago, maybe even like a month ago, the OFM Jobs Telegram group had 10,000 people. Now it has almost 20,000 people in it. Most of them are not agency owners. Most of them are fucking guys looking for work. In any business, in any industry, in any civilization today in the modern world, you are always going to have more people that are looking for jobs than people who are providing jobs. We don't really think about this. This doesn't occur to us because we're all business owners. We're all entrepreneurs. We are all the top guy in charge, or at least partnered with the top guy in charge. We call the shots and we hire the people. We provide the jobs. But you have to understand that this is a unique experience, and most other people on the planet, let alone the Philippines, which is not a very entrepreneurial society, most people on the planet look for a job. They don't think to start a business. Starting a business has all these things about risk, and like when you actually start to do it, you realize it's not a risk. You just fucking work on it and eventually you'll make money. But it has these connotations of risk and failure and, oh my God, my ego, I'll be sad if I start my mustard business and I don't make it work. What will my parents think? Whatever. Anyway, the point is that everybody hires Filipino VAs, everybody hires Filipino chatters, and it could be considered a red ocean. I'm not saying that it is, but again, this is a thought experiment for us to look at things that everybody is doing and think, okay, if I couldn't do that, if I was not able to do that, what would I do? How would I do it differently? Why is this good? I'll take a little detour here. This is good because it will force you to think of other ways to solve your problem. And on the way to solving your problem in these other ways, you will probably come up with a better solution. Straight up. Times where I had to sell, I mainly worked in sales my entire career, and I sold according to a very specific formula. But there were times where I was not able to sell according to that formula, where let's say we were missing a product, and I had to restructure my entire formula to sell without that product. And then other times we would be selling in a certain location where I would rely on some foot traffic or some close by store or some partnership with another stall or something like that. That disappears. Got to come up with another strategy. So when you think about different ways to do the thing that, or a thing that you have to do, you will probably come up with something better. Now, with Filipino VAs, what are your alternatives? You could work with Africans. Africans speak English. From what I hear, they work very hard as well. You could work with Serbians if you're talking about chatters. I've heard they're good. We have a Serbian chatter manager now. He seems serious. We'll see if he's any good. He just started this week, but he comes highly recommended. So, they seem like they are cutthroat people as well. It's fucking Serbia. Like, you've been there. Obviously they're cutthroat. Where else could you work with people? You could hire Americans. Hire some American people. Who's hiring Americans? Nobody. Everyone looks for fucking third world workers. What if you hired Americans? What if you hired people and paid them a reasonable wage? We have one American girl working for us, and you don't understand how refreshing it is to work with an American. Once you've been working with like third world people, like, oh my God, an American. I don't have to explain everything to her. I can just like tell her to do something and she'll do it, and she knows what I'm talking about, and she'll do a good job, and she's just good to work with. Red ocean number 2, driving traffic with social media or dating apps. Everybody is driving traffic with social media or dating apps. Everybody. You want to talk about a red ocean? This is the reddest of the oceans. Now, there are ways to compete in the red ocean. You can make trending content and capitalize on existing audiences of a trend or of other creators by copying commonly used video formats, which is, by the way, a little subtle pitch here for Trend Hunter. Exactly what we do at trendhunter.io, where we aggregate all the top trends for OnlyFans models on Instagram and TikTok, post them in a nice feed, give them to you free of charge, after you pay the monthly fee. It's pretty dope. So check it out. But everybody's driving traffic with social media. Everybody's driving traffic with dating apps. That's just what everybody's doing. It is such a red ocean. Do you know what the competition is? It is insane. And again, like I said, I'm not saying you can't make it work. You obviously can make it work. But what if you did something else? What if you had another method of driving traffic? For example, campsites, tube sites, QR codes, fucking mail order. I don't know, like direct mail, email marketing, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, right? Paid ads. When I say, social media dating apps, I really mean like organic stuff, right? If you said to here's the thought experiment. What if you woke up one day and you're like, okay, we cannot use organic content. We cannot use organic content on social media to drive traffic. What do? How do we do it? How are we going to fix this? And your brain will start to think, okay, well, we could do this, and we could do this. And then you start trying those things. Maybe one of them works. Maybe one doesn't. OFTV. What about OFTV? Make a fucking OFTV video. A lot of people getting very good results with OFTV. Yeah, it's getting harder, but they will put a fucking video of your creator on the main page of OnlyFans, which gets, 1 billion hits a day or whatever it is. Red ocean number 3, working with female models. Female models. Everybody wants to work with female models. Everybody. It's just like when you talk about OnlyFans creator, when you talk about OnlyFans model, you're talking about a female, right? It's just assumed. It's implied. You say she, her, right? And I don't want to get into the whole fucking pronoun thing, but we're talking about, what do they call it? Vagina owners or something fucking weird like that. The woke people, vagina owners. We're talking about vagina owners, people that have a vagina, a real vagina, not a neo vagina. They're born with one. Anyway, you know what I mean? If you don't know what I mean, don't Google it. Basically, most OnlyFans agency owners think that's who we want to work with. Now, ask the same agency owners if it's a fucking headache and a half to work with them, and 100 out of 100 will tell you yes. There's not a single one who'll be like, oh, it's easy. Oh, it's a piece of cake. Yeah, they always do everything that I want them to do every single time. I've never had an experience where I ask them to do something and they're late, or they're on their fucking period, or they have a headache, or they don't answer my text. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good your shit is. It's not, well, okay, maybe if you're like fucking Dean Indigo or something and you just scale girls to $1 million a month in 30 days. Fine. But if you're not Dean Indigo, I promise you've had fucking headaches before. So I would argue that a lot of those headaches come from working with female models, because the females who decide to do, I mean, women already are not as good workers as men. Sorry. Like I said it. That's my opinion, by the way. Like it's just my opinion. If I have to hire somebody, I would rather hire a man, given the choice. Yeah, fine. Some women are better at certain tasks, administrative stuff, you could argue. But I feel like the reason women are better for that is just because men, they don't do those jobs because, how do I even say this? I don't know. They're like beneath us, those types of jobs, like admin jobs. Like what man is going to do admin? None. They're like, let me do something else. Anyway, whatever. Working with female models is a challenge. And I would argue the reason is because most women, on average, have less motivation to improve themselves professionally compared to men, regardless of feminism, regardless of postmodern nonsense, especially in non-America, like not in America. Most women in the third world, like they're not going to college. They're not getting jobs. They're not doing those things. Or maybe they are, but like they don't have professional options. They're just not. It's not a thing. Like leave America, leave your ivory tower, and you'll see. So what are your alternatives? Well, you could work with male models. You could work with trans models. You could work with AI models. You could not work with models at all. You could sell models, right? And when I, sell leads on a marketplace, you could do something other than working with models. And you know what? Now that we're on this topic, I'm going to add another one that I didn't have on my list here. And that is OnlyFans management itself. OnlyFans management itself. You could say that OnlyFans management in and of itself is a red ocean. I mean, you can still make money at it, of course, but it is getting more saturated. It is getting harder. There are more people who are doing it. And as time goes on, eventually we're going to reach a point where it becomes very hard. And your experience and seniority and starting point, the fact that you started a long time ago, is going to be very helpful with your agency to the point where like it's really hard to start as a new person. Like it's hard to start a car company, but the car companies that started fucking in the 70s, it's easier, right? Or you're Elon Musk, you can make a fucking Tesla. Fine. If you're not Elon Musk, good luck. It's hard to start, insurance companies or banks, right? It's not easy to start these things. 100 years ago, it was easier to start a bank. Could have started a bank. Too bad you weren't born 100 years ago. Anyway, the point is that OnlyFans management itself is getting saturated. OnlyFans management itself is becoming a red ocean. Now, you can either choose to continue to compete in this red ocean or / you can diversify your income streams and you can think of something else. I'm not saying you get out of OFM completely, because all of these, OFM, OnlyFans management, is built on a lot of stuff that a lot of it costs money, right? You need proxies, you need VPS, you need VAs, you need chatters, you need traffic, you need a fucking anti-detect browser, you need, fucking whatever, electricity, like ring lights, lingerie, like you need a ton of stuff. And there's a lot of room. Think about it like this. Okay. I sell proxies. There's not a lot of people selling proxies. I don't have a lot of competition. It's a blue ocean, right? Now you could go start selling proxies. I don't recommend it. I would like to sell my proxy business. Fun fact. I've never announced that before. I feel a little nervous saying that, but like, I would like to sell the business. I would like to get out of the proxy game. It's a blue ocean. Yes, there's money there. Yes, I could fucking sell as many proxies as I want. It's besides the fact that I don't want to do it anymore. What's another blue ocean? Or another non-red ocean that is still related to OnlyFans management, but is not OnlyFans management? Model marketplaces. Yes, model marketplaces are becoming more common. There are new ones that are popping up every day. But in proportion to the amount of people that are getting into OnlyFans management, I would still argue that there is a shortage of model marketplaces. There's plenty of room to buy models or to sell models that you are recruiting. There's plenty of room. So that would be considered a blue ocean. Anyway, you get the idea. The next one, is what I call the e-whoring chatting strategy. The e-whoring chatting strategy. Now, what everybody is doing, or actually, you know what? There's two ways you can look at this. Okay, the way most chatters are chatting, okay, is not actually. I'm gonna reverse what I said on this. What I'm gonna call this is the spamming chatting strategy, because that's actually what most people are doing. The way most people chat, and when I say most people, I mean most VAs, I mean most Filipinos who either haven't been trained or are just dumb or lazy, or for some other reason, they don't do the proper thing when it comes to chatting. What most of them do is they don't get to know the fan at all. They treat selling content like selling fucking bread at an open air market in Cairo. And they don't take any time to get to know the fan. They don't take any time to ask them questions. They don't take any time to learn about them. When in reality, and that's what everybody is doing. That is the red ocean, right? It's like, hey babe, how are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm just lying here feeling horny. You want to see? Unlock $20. Fuck you. Terrible customer experience. And the fault of that is the chatters, but the real fault of it is the agency owners who employ the chatters, because it's your job to make sure the chatters are doing a good job. And I realize I'm talking about myself here. It's your job to make sure that chatters are doing a good job. It's your job to make sure they're giving a good customer experience. And it's crazy to me how now, I'm talking this through myself, but it's crazy to me how giving customers a bad experience is so common that it is now it doesn't even work now. It's so common. Like, people are just sick of it. Like, the customers don't even want to buy anymore. They're desperate to give you their money. They're desperate to do it. They don't want content. They want a real fucking connection with a human woman who is hot. Or she doesn't even have to be hot. She doesn't have to be hot. It'll be easier to get subs if she's hot. But even if she's busted and you have a good chatter on the account, like, he will make bank. I would rather have 100 busted girls and 100 good chatters than 100 stunners and 100 shitty chatters. Because the shitty chatters, I'm going to want to fucking rip their throats out every day at the end of the shift. But the good chatters, I can relax. I can rest easy, because I know that they're out there fucking squeezing every drop, no pun intended, out of these guys. So what is the e-whoring chatting strategy? This is the blue ocean. Okay, the e-whoring chatting strategy. E-whoring, for those of you who don't know, is the progenitor, you could argue, of OnlyFans management, which is essentially the same thing, selling content basically, but without a real girl. This is like, you buy a pack, you fucking have all these pictures and videos, you sell it on Snapchat, make a couple bucks, that's it. So very primitive. However, what these chatters what these e-whores got very good at was chatting, because if they did not chat well, they did not make any money. They couldn't rely on big social media pages, because that just wasn't a thing. You know, maybe like some of the smarter ones. Well, I guess they could actually, because they did have to drive traffic from somewhere, but most of them drove traffic from dating apps, because it was just the most direct route. And back then, you know, there was no TikTok, and you just didn't have the same organic reach with regular content. So anyway, the antithesis to the red ocean of fucking selling bread at a supermarket, or as I call it in my chatting article, fish market mode, which is like selling fish at a fish market. The thing that you're supposed to do instead is to sell content by forming a close bond with the person and learning about them, asking them questions. Where are you from? What do you do? How old are you? How was your day? Like, it's crazy to me. I go on a fucking rant every time I talk about this, but it's crazy to me how chatters just don't do this. Like, why don't you do it, bro? Why? Do you not want to make money? I don't know, whatever. Anyway. And number 6, red ocean, is trying to build your agency via remote work. If you look at all of the OnlyFans agencies, let's say we could put them all in a room, every single one, all over the world, where they all exist. How many of them do you think work with only local people? Only local people, meaning Their VAs are local. Their chatters are local. Their models are local. They know all of them in person. They're all in one fucking building, for example. Yeah, fine. Maybe they work with a fucking somebody overseas, contract work here and there, or like little parts of their business are overseas. How many of them do you think have everybody in-house? Nobody. Not maybe like some people in South America do that, or that's it, right? Like where else would you, or I don't know, Russia or something, or Ukraine or fucking Eastern Europe somewhere where like the girls are hot and the labor's cheap and you can do that. Romania maybe, right? Everybody's trying to do it with remote work. Everybody. You could say that is a red ocean, right? Remote, like finding girls who live abroad is what everybody's trying to do. Everybody's trying to fucking spam messages. Everybody's sending DMs on Instagram. Everybody's buying from marketplaces. Everybody's doing that shit. Nobody's trying to recruit in real life. Do you ever hear about like people going out trying to recruit OnlyFans models in real life? Never, ever. Everybody's trying to, hire chatters in third world countries. What if you hired and trained chatters in America? I promise you, if you had a good chatter in America, oh my God, he would crush chatters everywhere else. No offense to like you, if you live in another country and you're a chatter, but like an American chatter would fucking smoke you. You get smoked because, and I don't even really know why. Like, are we just smarter? I don't know. Like tier 1 countries, like, are we just smarter people? I don't know. Maybe. But the point is that if you were only to work, and it's not, forget about America, right? Let's say you live in Colombia or you live in Argentina, not a tier 1 country, no offense. But if you only worked with Colombian models, well, I would not envy you, honestly. I'd feel very bad for you, but maybe it would work. Maybe you could find a way to make it work. Let's say, for example, you can only work with local people. Thought experiment. How would you do it? How would you make it work? Only Colombia, only local models, only local VAs, only local chatters, only local marketing experts. You got to hire everybody locally. No work from home. You're coming to the fucking office every day. We're going to be an office culture. Are there any OnlyFans agencies that are doing that? I don't know of any, but maybe it would work. Who knows? Try it out. Or even if you don't go all the way, even if you don't go 100% local, maybe you get local chatters. Maybe you get more local girls, right? Even stuff like that. I am done uploading videos today. Let me tell you, this is enough. Thank you for watching. Like the video, drop me a comment, subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and I will see you in the next one.